And we are back.
Welcome back to Mark's World Podcast, coming at you straight from the garage. I'm Jorge Wapo, and I got with me
Vince Torres. I ain't going to do all that.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
really
this is-
excited for this podcast in particular. Number one, because we got the podcast going. This is episode 2. Number 2, because it's the Mania review. The Mania review. All right, before we can talk about Mania, we have to get into Smackdown. Even though I know everybody's ready to talk about Mania, we have to see what led up to it. So we got the Battle Royal. That Battle Royal was amazing.
Oh, the 30 man. Was it 30 men? I don't even pay attention.
I don't even know how many are in the...
I only cared about like the final 5. That's when I really tapped in. And it's mainly because of how well the final few in that Battle Royal were. I didn't expect much of it. I didn't even watch SmackDown initially. I had to watch a reaction to SmackDown to see how crazy it was, and then I went and watched the Battle Royal because of how crazy it was.
Every year I get really mad when the Battle Royal comes around because I hate it.
Yeah.
It does nothing for anyone.
Right.
And even if it does nothing for anyone, it does nothing for Carmelo Hayes, who was the winner.
It felt like it did something though.
It did something for everyone. Number
Yeah.
one, it pushed storylines with Chad El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano, he got teamed up on by the Luchadors.
Yeah, it's once again these frauds. They come in and they really want to play their cards, and I just don't get it. I have really conflicting thoughts because I love the LWO and I think they're the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But what are they doing?
Teaming up with AAA.
That's what I'm saying.
Phonies.
The enemies.
You could see on Andrade's face.
Yeah.
I think Andrade secretly LWO.
He has to be.
He's secretly.
I feel like he was a young member. When it was around in WCW,
His
I feel
father.
like his father initiated him into it. It burnt. You know how they have these tattoos. No, old LWO have that shit burned into them. With the
really?
you know the shit they put in the horses.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
could
they
do the
have.
cryo too.
Yeah.
Extra cold or extra hot.
He has the under his hair.
I heard the newer age is doing the cold,
Yeah, this
but I don't know.
old ones did it hot. You know, like Eddie.
Latino Heat. This is a shout out to Eddie and Celsius. Thank you for not sponsoring this video, but one
for
day,
just being good.
Yeah, we love it. It's time for a crack.
Crack
It's
open
time
a
for
Celsius.
You're gonna expect these on every episode. A crack of a Celsius. Listen close.
Did we do that same time?
No, yours just
I was like, wow, that was hype.
Yours just
mine was fire.
I hope mine doesn't just.
You didn't even open it.
Oh.
Did you open yours yet?
No, it's you gotta build it up. There you go.
Oh! You got a pop, brother.
Oh yes. All over my face. Don't use that audio, please.
We're using that shit.
Don't clip that audio. Use it.
We're putting that on the machine. Every time we pop it open, it's all over my face.
All right. This is a kid-friendly podcast. Sort of. No, I don't think so. But anyways. Yeah, there's a bunch of freaking phonies. A bunch of phonies. You can tell that what I was getting at is Andrade standing there.
Yeah.
He's a C-Mall guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Where El Grande Americano had some of his best runs.
Yeah, after he did a short, he kind of did a thing where after he left Triple USA, he went over to CMLL and he was teaching some guys. He was running a couple seminars.
During COVID, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was a couple seminars.
And, so he's very integrated over there, and they just try, C-Mall is... That's an Andrade guy. Andrade guy, he's C-Mall. And around those AAA guys, you could tell he was uncomfortable. Yeah, the same way I felt watching it.
You could also tell where they're from. You could tell that, they don't live around the Gulf of America, and
No.
and it's. I feel like there's a culture shift, and
There is. It's like us going down south.
yeah,
It's a little bit different,
it's like if I use a New York twang in Georgia,
Yeah, it just
I'm gonna get bullied for it.
just a little bit different.
Exactly.
So these AAA guys coming over here trying to, they're trying to make El Grande the bad guy. I don't know why they're pushing it on TV. And Michael Cole needs to shut his mouth.
I'll talk more about it once we get to Mania, about Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and how I felt about them. I've never been more annoyed with a commentary team in my life.
Oh, especially when they're talking about
No,
El Grande
especially.
Americano.
How dare Michael Cole? How dare Michael Cole have the nerve to open his mouth? How dare he on multiple occasions.
With no hard evidence, he's saying,
Yes.
"Oh, El Grande Americano is."
Meanwhile,
Chad
we've
Gable.
seen them in the same shots.
Exactly.
The same shots.
I'm gonna throw it up right here. They were in the same shot.
Yes.
I'm not. This is for a clip, not for anything else. There's apologies. I'll throw it up anyway in the pod
Right
just
now.
because. But anyways, yeah, there was. You saw them in the same place, same time. It's obviously not him. He's a big supporter, big fan.
I actually think it's kind of messed up. Like, I think it's more than messed up. I think there's like deep rooted hate there, and
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to Chad Gable, and it's unfair to El Grande.
It's unfair to both of them because,
Yeah.
number one, El Grande is not getting the credit that he deserves.
Exactly.
That's the literal reason why he's here, because these luchadors
Yes.
are copying his whole gimmick.
And he's so good. He got to debut at he got like a big Mania debut.
Yeah, against another guy who was debuting, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about him and Penta. Thank goodness.
The AAA bums.
A real, like, at least somebody. I know that him and his dad are getting along right now, but
Yeah.
at least somebody from the lineage of the LWO
Yes.
was able to put Penta down.
Both of them. Like, they both. It was a good night for the LWO, baby.
But there's a lot of stuff stemming from the Battle Royal. I loved how the crowd let everybody know. They let everybody in
Yes.
creative know that Karrion Kross is the guy. There was a big when he got eliminated. I don't know if anyone noticed, but dude, there was a big reaction from the crowd.
He's naturally built up an awesome like fan base, and like not even like he's built up a support that like you only see for Bayley in like the UK.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yes.
She's really good. His work has been really good, and his work at GCW, he did a great promo package for that. He had a great match over there, and just the whole lead up and lost.
He's a good wrestler.
Being in
He's
Las
a really
Vegas,
good wrestler.
I think that he really took this as a pivotal point. He wasn't really on Mania, and I know I'm getting a little far ahead of ourselves here, but we
want to talk about Mania.
Yeah, he put out a promo before Mania talking about how upset he was being off of it and it being in his hometown, and I think a lot of people clicked on that. I think that and
it's so relatable. It's relatable to like want to see there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Karrion, when he got eliminated, there was a big
Yeah.
reaction there. So I'm glad the WWE universe is taking their opinion off of the internet and in person and showing creative, like, push this guy.
And then I just like the callbacks to like old stories, like with Andrade and Mello.
Dude.
Oh my god.
And you know what? They did that spot so much that I thought they were overusing it. But
Yes.
they didn't use it at all.
And then he
I
used
felt
it to
like-
win.
No. Well, yeah.
That's-
but,
yeah.
Mello, they used the spot, but they didn't go with the Spanish
Oh
spot.
yeah,
like
I liked
reverse.
it. Yes.
Twice they teased
Yeah.
it. And I was like, you know what? They make me miss the move.
Yeah.
So when it comes back, I'm going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
I like how they leave it to just Andrade and Mello to hit that move too.
Because it feels like it's a callback to their match.
Yeah,
Every
like-
time I see that now in person or like anywhere on TV, I only think about them, and I think that's how iconic they made it.
It's their spot.
And they got to have their game 7,
yeah.
and I thought it was such a good outcome. It was so good.
Mello deserved it. You know, Mello was wrestling on Stand and Deliver last year.
Yeah.
And I know that he wasn't on Mania, but the strides that he's made since he's come up from
Yeah, I think
last
people
year to now.
want people to like shoot into the main event way too quickly. I think Mello's like gradual thing is what they should have done with Austin Theory, and I think it's why Austin Theory had like the fall he had. And
There's another person I want to compare, but we're going to get to him because
Okay.
I think he's the main topic.
Yeah.
Of somebody also, but who came up from NXT,
Mm-hmm.
and they waited on him. Everybody's like, "Oh, push him to the moon, push him."
Yeah.
They waited, and it worked. But you guys know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. But then next on SmackDown, we got Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green. Yes, our Canadian United States champion. But it wasn't for the title, and as much as I love Chelsea Green, our girl. Oh, dude.
She's so talented.
Zelina Vega really putting on for the LWO, as was Joaquin Wilde in that battle royal, as was Cruz del Toro in that battle royal, as
Joaquin
was
went
Dragon
so
Lee.
hard. Joaquin went so hard in that match. I felt the Hispanic reignite in my blood. Like it transferred back into my soul because of how his vibes just radiate.
Oh, dude.
I got up and started doing the bachata. I'm not even lying.
Started moving.
Yeah, I was going. That's how he's.
You know what has me
sparked it in
pissed though?
Huh?
Dude, I don't know why. I don't know if it was Rey Mysterio's call. It's getting me a little mad from our Godfather. He's getting me a little pissed off.
Abuelo's not cooking?
Why for the 3-on-3? Why for the 3-on-3 did he pick Rey Fenix?
Yeah, he's not even LWO.
Why not Joaquin? Put Joaquin on there.
I feel like they're really sleeping on my boy Joaquin Phoenix, and it's really hurting me.
Oh my goodness. And then Dragon Lee. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, Dragon. Thank you, Dragon.
He's just a better Phoenix.
I just need LWO and El Grande Americano to put their differences to the side
And unite against the invading force.
Against AAA.
They're the AAA invaders. That's their name.
Dude, and finally gives Andrade a reason to join LWO as well. Instead of just like helping them out.
And
like
then El Grande could teach them.
Dude. It's like parents fighting.
It's hard. It hurts my heart. And like, I was glad it wasn't Dragon Lee that came out to handle the situation. And I think that proves my point that there is a bit of respect between El Grande and the LWO. That they wouldn't send out an official member. And they sent out.
No, they sent out Dragon Lee. They sent out Dragon Lee.
I was talking
and
about
Mysterio.
for Mania.
Yeah, no, thank goodness.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
And I think
I saw the respect as well.
I think the respect was built up there, and I think they were like, wow, this is pure lucha, because LWO knows nothing but pure lucha.
That's right. And, I think that Julius and Brutus, throw on a mask, bro. Get over here. You know what I mean?
Honestly, they might as well.
Like, get over here. Like, you've been helping El Grande out so much. I know that he was.
What would you call them? Julius and what would their lucha names be?
I think honestly,
Julito.
Burrito. For Brutus, the burrito ball.
Boom!
The
Julito burrito.
Julito burrito. Oh my goodness! You know what? But they've just been doing us such a good service.
Yeah,
helping out El Grande Americano while we have people picking sides over here.
Yeah, I agree. I think like everything aside, I think you have some of the best wrestlers on the planet in general in that match, and I think American Made are just so good. And I think it's without a doubt. I've never seen people unite over a tag team in a mindset and say both these guys are future world champions to a tag team. Like they came in as a tag team, they were built as a tag team, and nobody could stop talking about how these guys are both world champions.
And they're getting more TV time than Gable.
Yeah, my poor dude, bro. They've been backstage.
Sick.
Yeah, it's just could have had him on commentary. He would. Yeah.
Trying to get it back.
Was it Snow? Dr. Snow. He's a good guy. I think he's gonna do a good job.
Yeah, and I'm glad that at least El Grande Americano is paying tribute to him.
I heard that he's actually covering the bill.
Really?
Yeah, I heard he covered the bill for Gable. That's why it infuriates me that we even have to deal with the conversation.
That's probably why Julius and Brutus are helping El Grande out
Probably
so much
that actually makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Sick. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but he's even paying a little homage. Gracias. Oh, bro.
So good. So good.
He should hit a little. He should hit a little.
He was kind of getting into it.
We got the tag match. Who was it?
That was the tag match that we were just talking about.
That tag match.
Yeah.
Oh, the tag match announcement is what I was.
The TLC.
Towards, yeah.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
Motor City Machine Guns, I'm pretty sure they did face the Street Profits.
Yeah. It was for the belts, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then Johnny Gargano.
And they robbed.
That's the tag match that I'm talking about.
DIY thugs.
Oh, dude, and Ciampa fell. I think on his escape, maybe.
Yeah, he did. They were dipping.
I don't know if it's on SmackDown, but I know that he got cut, and I saw a picture of him. No beard, no.
It looks good.
Let's go. It could have been on Mania, easily.
It upsets me, but I'm also glad that they're probably gonna get like a lot of time.
I hope.
I think that's why they're giving it to them, because SmackDown's 3 hours now. I think they're gonna get a lot of time.
Ciampa with no beard in that ladder match is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I think he has to pull out something more sinister.
Because of the lack of beard?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be weighed down. I think he's gonna pull out a sunset flip or something.
I think he's gonna
fly. I think he might fly. Yes. I think the beard always I think the beard always had the ability to fly for him, and I think it actually flew off his face. I don't think he cut it. I think he was holding the beard down, and I think without him, he's gonna learn how to earn the beard back. And I think eventually the beard will fly back onto his face, just as it was. but he has to earn it, and I think this is a arc for him.
Hope they made it into a little blanket for Johnny Wrestling's kid.
Oh, a little sweater?
Yeah, a little choppa sweater, or like maybe just a regular jacket. That
Bro, what if it's a shiesty?
Oh. Do you remember when SpongeBob made the freaking sweater out of eyelashes?
It's a shiesty.
Oh. Baby wrestling. Get him on NXT. Get him on NXT.
I'm excited for the match on Friday. I think it's gonna be a really good TLC. I wish it was a Mania. It's a Mania level match, and I think Street Profits are doing some of their all-time work. I heard you said it was pretty sloppy, right?
It wasn't on Street Profits. Calling back to that, I did text you right in the middle.
Yeah. That's what made me go and like watch over it.
There was a couple of pop-ups from Angelo Dawkins that I think Saban was supposed to like pop higher for. There was a drop kick that he missed that it was like, oh, that sucked.
And I think they're just trying to like keep up with the pace they've been going at, and I just don't think it's needed. Street Profits are good. They don't need to match the pace of DIY. And I think people are trying to like throw them in there as like there's these super high speed fast guys off the indies. That's not their case.
And I don't even feel like it was Street Profits because Street Profits,
no, they
were super
That's
athletic.
why I was confused when he said that. I'm like,
it wasn't from Street Profits.
Montez was cooking.
The pop-ups from Dawkins I feel like were good, but on those pop-ups, you got to pop up. And I don't think Saban was enough. But it'll be a good match. Randy Orton came out, cut a promo, good promo, talking about if anyone even catches wind of this, if you have a pair of wrestling boots, no, forget that. If you even hear this message,
me out.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna name. I thought he almost name dropped me. Actually,
it was one of those promos that like it was almost like a Santino Marella type of feel.
Yeah, and I thought
that, like when anyone in the crowd could come and challenge.
And I thought he had watched our podcast, and he was upset we didn't really talk about him too much. I feel like
maybe.
I think he wanted us to handicap him, but he didn't want that smoke.
No, he didn't want that smoke. No. But it just a little bit of baby oil. That was a good line in his promo. I'll call back to that in my life a lot.
I might get it tattooed.
Might
think about it.
We got LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. Obviously, it didn't go on for long. I'm kind of sick of. I'm glad. We were talking about Smackdown, and I know I'm reaching into the future. I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's over. I hate the Bloodline.
It was just dragging.
Bloodline and LA Knight has been going on since Roman.
The issue is like it went to like the 6th season, and like it was a good 4-season show, and it went to 6 seasons.
Yeah,
it's like in Shameless when they got rid of Fiona.
It needed to end.
Yeah,
it needed to end a while.
Like Lip can't carry the show. Like he tries, but
it was a good season finale.
Yeah, no.
But so
Lip's a good character, but Lip is better on his own, and now he has the bear.
You know, it was a good match until it wasn't, because then we got Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu coming out. Jacob Fatu, and
I miss old Braun Strowman. I feel like he's like there's something very like teddy bearish about him.
Yeah, he can't move though.
Yeah, he can, bro.
When he comes out like hobbling to the ring, I just
right now I feel like his body's just not there.
No, it's not cooperating with him.
Which sucks because like I feel like only a month, not even. When was his last match with Fatu?
That was a really good one.
It was so good.
I was in person for that actually.
You got a good ass match.
Yeah, they had that table spot like right over there. It was really good actually.
You don't get that often.
No,
and like
that was a really
seeing
good
the
match.
hosses go crazy. I'm glad. I miss when like hosses felt like hosses, but in WWE the issue is everyone's 6'5". It's kind of like when you meet Stephen Curry and you expect him to be your height, and then you have to look up at him.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the issue with hosses in WWE. And I think that's Cross's issue also. He was a monster on the indies. Then he comes here and he has to look up at Drew McIntyre.
Now there's a lot of indie guys coming in.
Yeah, now he's looking big again.
Looks big again, yeah.
Especially on
in
Raw.
That Battle Royal, he looked really big.
Yeah.
Against AJ Styles, he looked really big. Now against Drew McIntyre, it's a different story.
Yeah, but yeah.
What could you do? Then we get asynchronous promo from Tiffy Time and Charlotte Flair. I hated it because
I'm just kind of sick of it. I don't like asynchronous promos in general. The only one I really liked was the Rollins Riddle one.
This one was different though, because that's more like a Zoom meeting. That's
Yeah,
like online
yeah.
class, like you're interacting with someone.
Yeah.
And I feel that's remote promos.
Yeah, okay.
Those are remote ones.
Okay, I get what you mean.
Asynchronous is
Yeah.
when they're not even
They filmed the
talking to
one person's promo. Yeah.
And like Wade Barrett was interviewing them.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm like, dude,
that's pretty trash.
it was bad because
That's like some Channel 99 type ordeal where like it's like, welcome to Channel 99 News. And, like, the reporters just suddenly everywhere.
So my biggest takeaway from it is they did go off script, or at least they're buying into the internet. Like, okay, like they went off script and they bought into it enough, but they used it as an angle that Charlotte Flair's like, you know, I'm like almost being upset about it and a baby about like what was said. Like, things got personal, and you know when they do, like, what can you do? And it's like, wait, whoa, why are you backing out?
It's really funny. And then like even in the match, it kind of felt like she backed out a bit.
She did.
There was like a level of like tenacity I was really looking forward to seeing from Charlotte because she can.
Yeah,
and
she
like
had
I thought
the Ludwig
against Rhea,
was
she was fucking up Rhea. Like, she was laying it in. And then I felt like in this match, well, they definitely laid it in. I'm not gonna say they didn't because Tiffy,
know what?
Her teeth.
I don't feel like she was being as generous as she was with Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's her fault entirely.
No.
I thought there was like Tiffy. Remember how in the last podcast I felt like this was gonna be Tiffy's test to like step up.
They didn't mesh well at all.
I thought the chemistry was really funny.
It was bad.
And Tiffy doesn't understand size and like that kind of thing yet. And you would think after working with Nia, she'd be a bit more familiar with it.
Yeah.
But I think the issue with Charlotte is she's like tall and lanky. I said she was built like the Avatar people, like the blue people.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, like a Na'vi. And I don't think Tiffy knew what to do with all that. Like in the best way possible. Like when it came, she was doing the Alabama Slam into the corner, and then like
it just wasn't.
She's
good.
so tall.
Yeah, it just
you can't do that to her. And I think that's also on Charlotte. Like, hey, let's rework the spot.
Yeah, I'll give a little bit more opinion on that match when we cover WrestleMania, but that promo sucked, and honestly, it led to nothing good. So, and to end SmackDown off to go into WrestleMania Night 1 was Cody Rhodes and John Cena's promo.
I thought it was a repeat. I felt like we just got it. I don't know about you, though.
I feel like exactly what WWE was protecting Cody from this whole feud happened that night because they got into the ring. Now the nostalgia's hitting. We all know it's John Cena's last WrestleMania, last promo before WrestleMania, last build for WrestleMania. Here they are in the ring together, and the crowd turns on Cody.
Yep.
Big time.
It was bad.
Big time.
I partially think it's because it's in Vegas.
It might be.
I think the people of Vegas are kind of assholes.
They are.
Like, I was watching it. I'm like, wow, people always talk bad about like Philly crowds, Chicago crowds, New York crowds. The Vegas crowd was kind of ruthless.
And obviously, it's not all people that live in Vegas, but it's the environment of Vegas that makes you act like that.
Yeah, like the guy sitting next to you was bitching about how his wife is upset that he's in Vegas for Mania and gambling all their money away.
And he's over here like fuck it.
That's like,
Now that I'm getting yelled at, I'm going to have like the best time of my life.
Yeah.
And that's going to be heckling our baby face.
And I think the thing people were upset about the UK people for doing. I don't get the weird like tribalism we have going on with fans around the world right now online. Because I would kill for us to have like another Paris show and stuff like that. Was so good.
It was really good. And we sucked. And we turned on our baby face, and it made no fucking sense.
Mania was kind of quiet.
Night 1 was there was reactions to certain things.
With the LA Knight entrance, they they put the heat meter on for the crowd noise. The crowd was dead. They had it
overheated.
They overheated.
It's a lie. Nobody was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Slim Jim heater.
Yeah. Overheated. You got him good, brother.
Oh my goodness. But so Cody turns it back around.
Yeah.
Cody turns that whole promo back around, and it was crazy because Cody's good. He proved himself, at least to at least to the hardcore wrestling fans. I don't know if I'm hardcore, but I think I watched enough that to me, he really proved himself that he was in there with John Cena against a tough crowd.
Yeah.
And he still got them to turn around.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm tired of the story of Cody having to turn people around. I felt like it happened during his world title run too. And I was guilty of it too, where like I kind of dozed off. And I was like, oh,
it's The Rock's fault.
It is. And it started off really funny. That whole introduction to Cody being champion was really stupid. Oh, let me hold your belt. You go hold mine. Shut up.
Okay, how about a Raw after Mania that Cody comes out just to celebrate, and whoever it is,
Cody announces that we're gonna have an active champion. That's all he had to do. He had to come out and be like, I am so happy.
Well, what if Randy came and RKO'd Cody?
That would have been great. How come we never got that match?
That's what they gave John Cena.
Yeah.
They gave John Cena. They're like,
yeah, and that's why when we get to Raw after Mania, it was so like. But they did such a good job with it.
The thing is,
it felt like a Raw after Mania.
What I'm comparing it to, I feel like Cody Rhodes got booed that on Friday because of Raw after Mania last year.
Yeah. It's definitely...
It was a butterfly effect all the way lasting
and
until the night
it kept
before
going because
Mania.
You reintroduced The Rock. You reintroduced all these characters. And it's...
Everything we've been waiting for that we never got. It ruined the main event,
and it ruined his title reign for me.
It ruined everything.
If you don't give Cody his flowers for what he was able to do with what he was given... then I just feel like you're not. And he was given good, like,
dude. Some of the best feuds that you could mirror,
exactly,
like these work, and maybe with other people.
The Kevin Owens feud is probably the best thing WWE's done in a long time. I still don't think the match has been topped.
No.
The Rumble match, was it at Rumble?
I believe so.
Yeah, the last one was Roddy. That's probably one of my favorite ladder matches ever. It might be my favorite ladder match ever. It was so good.
I couldn't believe it.
It was crazy.
And I was expecting more from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and it just didn't reach that level.
And it probably should have, but like there was something wrong with the vibes of Chamber.
Yeah,
Chamber didn't feel right to me.
And they dropped the light for their match. No crowd interaction. It was kind of just like, let's fight.
Yeah, the Chamber. It was just
the crowd should have been a big part of that
but
in Canada.
If that was gonna be their last match, like how KO was like heading and all that, I think it was a good last match for KO.
It was.
He's had a good last run. And like,
if this is his last run,
this is the craziest career I've ever seen.
If that was his last run,
yes,
that was good.
Yes,
stole the title. It got the Brock the.
I consider that a title run.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, I consider him a WWE champion from that run because it was so good.
It was good. His promos with Cody. That's what I'm saying. That we're bringing it back around.
Yeah.
Cody did a lot with this run.
Even against Logan Paul. I'm not the biggest fan of Logan Paul.
Did well.
I thought Cody was really like...
His throw-up matches against Carmelo Hayes were good.
Yeah. But like that's the thing. Like we had an active champion. Why are people so against that? People just like douchebags because we're a douchebag society now.
Yeah, no, and John Cena gets at that a lot, and I understand.
Yeah.
Like
that's why Cena made a point when he was telling Cody, you're just like me. Like in that sense. Yeah. You're like me, but you'll never amount to me.
But Cody turned that around, said he was an errand boy. He's like, you went across the Oscar stage naked. You run errands now. So Cody definitely did everything correct. Yeah. Everything that he could do correct, we failed him. And I don't say we, I mean you guys. Huh. I mean y'all.
Let's have a moment of silence so y'all think about it.
Wait, y'all are the reason for Travis Scott. Y'all.
Let's get into Mania.
Mania Night 1. Yeet. Yeah. Go ahead. Say what you want about this match because
I think we had very different views on it. I was literally watching this match in the barber chair. I was meant to go to his house and it ended up not working out, and I'm sitting in the barber chair and I'm just like this. I swear, I could see. You can see your barber in the reflection off your phone. He was definitely watching it over my shoulder, also while fucking scraping up the side of my head. Yeah. I went to the beach. I went to the pool the day after. Yeah. My head was red,
burning.
Like it was pure red. It was crazy. But we were all. So I was watching it. My boy over me, I guess, and it kind of sucked. I think wrestling wise, it was a horrid match.
Go ahead, rip it up.
I think in ring wise, Jey Uso, he was incompetent. His execution of moves were sloppy. I thought everything was really trash. I think even on Gunther's end, I was really disappointed. In ring wise, the match did not hit. It was sloppy. The spots called were bad. I thought Bobby Roode did a horrible job producing it. I think they've had better matches in the past. I think the build-up warranted a more aggressive approach, and they weren't slugging. Like, I don't get it. Jey Uso, if that was his slugging, he's getting his ass beat in any fight he ever walks into. And then he wants to come out afterwards all drunk, and which is cool. I love Jey Uso like that. I think that should be his character 24/7 because that was the most entertaining post-press conference ever. I'm like, yeah, he's my world champion after that.
Two-time
but he did it.
World Chaka. Damn near the heavyweight champion.
Yeah. But he is that pisses me off the most. Damn near you are the champ. You tap my boy out.
Two-time World Chaka, damn near.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just felt like Where was the bloodshed? He fucking almost murdered your brother. Where was that? Where was Gunther? All of a sudden, Gunther's a pussy now? Gunther runs away. Gunther's like, I don't want to be a part of this. Gunther's cheating? Gunther's cheating? Do you see the size of that dude? Do you see what he's done to people? Look what he did to his brother. No, not even that. Look what he did to Cody Rhodes when they wrestled. He out-wrestled Cody Rhodes. No, not even that. Let's look at what he did to everybody on the build-up to get here. Look at his Intercontinental title run when he's facing these all-star opponents. And then Jay hits him with an uppercut, and bro fucking flies across the ring. What sense did any of that make? Like the level of ring IQ. I didn't even feel like I was watching a superhero fight. I thought I was watching a really crappy karate film. It wasn't good. Like the combat wasn't good. And then the sleeper at the end. What was that? There was no sense of build. There was no when you read a story, right? They teach you in English class about the rising and falling action of a match and the climax. We never even rose. I felt like I was in the falling action from the get-go. And maybe that's because I knew Gunther was losing. But I don't think that took away from the in-ring quality I got. Because I thought at least Cody Rhodes had a solid in-ring performance, and Cena had a solid in-ring performance considering what it was. I still think the quality of match we got for the rest of the show, from matches I thought that were gonna stink, just outshined it.
I like this match. I liked it. I think that I expected a lot more. A lot of people expected a lot more. It sucked as a match perspective from Gunther. No fault of Gunther's own.
It was, though.
He was nerfed.
I don't.
Bobby Roode did nerf him.
I don't even think, but I think he also just didn't live up to what he was, and maybe he was upset too. I don't know, but I think there's a level of professionalism that went into that match that wasn't there. That's usually there for every one of their other matches.
I've seen that from Gunther a little bit this weekend. I think that he was mad that he was doing media at all.
Yeah,
because they are going to have him lose the way he lost.
He did a general commercial.
I think from Jey Uso's perspective, what a match from Jey Uso. Suplexes, sleeper holds. My man was hitting it. My man was hitting lariats. Oh, he was doing it to him. Multiple splashes, barely any super kicks. You know, he was hitting him with elbows. They were fighting forever. That
was a fight forever.
They got to fight forever.
You thought that was hands?
They were shooting him. No, there was a good exchange. And I'll throw it up if you're going to argue with me. I'll throw it up over
Go ahead
here.
And then throw up the rest of the hands that were exchanged the rest of the night.
I'm not throwing it up anymore.
Go ahead. Throw up how Damian Priest.
Okay. But I really do think that the story was he beat the crap out of his brother. I think it warranted more.
It did.
But he gave him four finishers. And into the sleeper.
Yeah.
The move that he had his brother in. I think for
the
entry-level fans, and I'm not saying that to be rude. I mean, like, because I was an entry-level fan myself as a kid. Oh, that was great. That they told the story fine enough that it made sense, everything. And I think that Gunther looked super weak. But if you're not... For Gunther's heavyweight title run, because you had to reach back to the Intercontinental, his heavyweight title run sucked.
Yeah.
It was bad. And it's no fault of his own. And I think his promo against Jey Uso leading up to Mania was one of the best promos. It was some of his best work. Yeah. It was his best work, but you gave him his best work to be brought down. Why did you have him bring out the best side of his character to have him lose to Mr. Yeet?
And it's, I'm not even upset that he tapped out. Like
That's
I wish that I was upset that he tapped out. I think that could have been such a cool moment. Imagine Jay covered in blood, chest welted, tears in his eyes, arms wrapped around the Goliath that's been slaughtering him and his family now for the longest time. Gunther has escaped him for the longest time back to the Intercontinental title run when he almost beat him.
Why were they scared to make Jay look mean?
Yes.
They made it. I didn't like the...
This is what it is. And this is
laughing.
What it, yes.
I get beat up.
This is what it is.
It's like, no.
TKO has turned our boys into grade level heroes.
Yeah.
Jey Uso turned into SpongeBob SquarePants.
He is.
From the modern seasons compared to Jey Uso
Right hand man.
when he was teaming up with Cody Rhodes, having these cool moments.
Thank you, Squidward.
From seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah. Doubling up on the thank you, Squidward.
Gunther went from Squidward on April Fools, the best Squidward ever. I still think Squidward is validated in cooking up SpongeBob, but
at times.
I agree with him.
At times.
I think we went from that with him to nice Squidward, where he was like, oh,
yeah,
he is
as
gonna.
An adult,
he
as
is,
an adult, I understand.
He is gonna die.
Are you done with your errands?
Yeah.
Come here, sponge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just let bro take a bath.
Real. All done with those errands? But, all right. I think that Jey Uso deserved it. I really liked some of the match. I understand everybody's grievances with it. I understand that they dropped Gunther down, but to be honest, they didn't validate him this whole title run. So what do you expect? What do you expect that they were going to do with Gunther if they didn't make him as monster-esque? And I think they did it on purpose. So his next run seems like, oh, this is a whole different Gunther, the one that we know he can be. So, and I think we got some of that, but we'll get into the Raw review after. Naomi versus Jade.
I think it went past my expectations. I thought it was going to be butt.
You really?
I thought in-ring wise, it was going to be the worst match of the night.
There were some moments that weren't that great, but overall, wow. Like, they put one on.
There was moments that, like, I expected to be and, like, it's Jade Cargill. I think Naomi's a fucking amazing wrestler, and I think she showed out. Like, she shows out, and I think recently she's just been having good matches, and Jade came to work.
You know what I liked about that match? That Naomi, TNA women's knockout champion, like her most big, like I'd say, like one of her biggest prestiges, and what she's most recognized for in the wrestling world, carried that Mania match.
Yes.
Yes. And she carried the feud up to the Mania match. She did
her entrance too. Wow,
dude, it just shows that she's like, I mean, that people they're not recognized enough, and they're given the opportunity. They make the most of it.
It's like Natalia. Did you see she was on Bloodsport?
Yeah.
GCW Bloodsport. Yeah. She went to Bloodsport and cooked it up. I believe it's Miyu Yameshita or something. I'll have to look it up. There's a way to pronounce it. But wow, you forget that, like, she could grab. Like, she's good. Yeah, like, she was putting in some amateur holds. She did the game. She was going crazy. Dude, I gotta show you it because it was.
It's crazy how many WWE guys, even whether they're NXT, main roster, in women's division as well, they're all going down to GCW. I'm kind of mad, and probably GCW fans like that are OGs.
GCW, they're mad. So I know this one guy. His name is Max. He probably watches it now. But I know that, like, all of them are they're calling GCW sellouts because GCW is the alternative product. Like,
and they sold out.
They're
sending their alternative wrestlers.
But like, the issue is, I'm okay with them selling out the way they did because then they proceeded to have Sabu wrestle. I'm not sure.
I didn't see.
It was Sabu versus Joey Janela.
It's not a sellout then.
It was the most horrific match of all time. Like, I'm here clowning on Jay. I would watch Jay versus Gunther every day for the rest of my life just to never have to see Sabu in a ring again. He almost died. Like, he had blood gashing out the back of his head. I deadass thought he died. No, and that's the thing. I think he came in drunk. He goes up to the ref. He's like this. He goes to the promoter. He starts yelling at the promoter in the ring. And then he stumbles away. And then he's like, you want to play like this? You know, doing the drunken swinging arms. Sabu. And he does that like twice. And then they show the promo package. And the promo package, Joey Janela's cooking him to his face on the mic. And like, you want a match? It's going to be your last match. Sabu, his legs are like this, just standing there. His legs are shaking because he can't stand. His body's so deteriorated. He's like this. And that's all he did.
They popped.
The crowd was just like, what's going on? And then he does it 3 times. So then after that point, Joey Janela smokes him again.
Oh my goodness.
And then it happens again. And then Sabu comes in and they proceed to have the craziest, stupidest match ever, but I guess it was good for that reason. Sabu falls into the barbed wire, almost got strangled by it. Like, it got caught up in his coat, like in his sleeves.
Oh my goodness.
Across. And he almost gets choked out by the barbed wire. the ref and Joey Janela are helping him out of the jacket. And then it gets horrible. And then Joey Janela sends him through a spot, and Sabu oversells it, crashes through a table, falls to the outside into barbed wire again. And then all of a sudden, you see blood gush. Like, you know when you could tell someone's hurt bad by how the blood's pouring out the back of their head? Big ass puddle of blood, like dark blood. Like, you know, like when it's
brain
deep
blood.
Yes. And
oxygenated and
it's just fucking, it's leaking. I'm like, oh my God, Sabu just died in the ring. I watched Sabu die. All of a sudden, Sandman's music hits. And Sandman has a 15-minute, Sandman has a 10-minute entrance.
It's one of the best entrances ever.
The crowd is like, and then they're like, and then all that's happening in the ring is just Joey Janela is just standing there, and then all of a sudden you see Sabu in the background getting up to his feet. And I'm gonna stop talking about it there, but what a match!
We got New Day versus War Raiders. Let's go.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was good.
I like the match. I think they should have replaced this with the TLC.
Shouldn't have been on Mania.
That's what I'm saying. This should have been the TLC.
If they wanted it on Mania, you should have built them up more.
Yeah.
A good match. How do you want me to care for it?
I thought it was the best Xavier Woods has looked in ring.
Yeah.
I thought he really showed out in ring. And this is just me trying to like get the positives out of the way of it, because I feel like the big negative was just the match itself.
Should have been in a Raw ring.
Yeah, and War Raiders, I love War Raiders. They're not built.
Yo.
They're not built up to the crowd.
How about that one moonsault that Ivar did? He almost died.
This is what I'm talking about. I miss when big men were big men.
So one of my friends, Ryan, he's not to diss, more so a casual.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come in, watch Mania, and he texted me. He's like, "Let me know what's going on. Like, who are we rooting for and whatnot." So I gave him the backstory of like Big E, and they haven't really done anything with New Day. And then I told him War Raiders, good for them that they're in this Mania match, because their careers were at risk not too long ago, and they had broken necks, and. He texted me. He texted me after that moonsault, and he goes, "Yeah, I can see why."
Yeah.
What the hell was that? I was like, I don't know.
I wish I could I could validate some of that kind of stuff, but like, it's not like he hasn't hit it really nicely in the past either. It was just
but when you're doing those moves,
Yeah.
it does make sense for you to break your neck.
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense. Actually,
it makes the most sense. I would break my neck doing that.
Yeah. So he was like, "Yeah, I see why."
Yeah.
These guys almost broke their necks and ended their careers. But not to say that they hit it clean, like you're saying.
Yeah.
They do it really well, and
It's just
they're
scary.
great workers. It's just a big man on that rope. A lot can go wrong, and it seemed like
imagine
those
if he
ropes were
landed
oily.
wrong on whoever he was hitting.
Kofi on Kofi's chest.
Yeah.
He has no padding.
No, Kofi's a scrawny, strong dude.
He has like that.
Well, I say that, but like I said, it's the Steph Curry thing. If you make Kofi in person, he's
jacked.
crazy.
Yeah, but it's just that his chest is like he has that, I don't know what it is, condition that like the inside of your muscle in your chest starts to eat away. Some other guys had it too. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
But Big Papa Pump. Big Papa
Yeah.
Pump had it.
It looks kind of tough though. It does. Like, it's low key tough.
Okay. They were looking great. Like,
Yeah.
Their
Like I said,
presentation is a lot
Xavier
better.
Woods, and maybe it's just because I'm like a big fan for him, and whenever he does anything good, I'm like super hyped for him.
I think that they're presented really well.
Yeah.
It just we need more.
Yeah, and I think it suffered the same issue as I thought Jay did, where there was a lack of intensity. No, I thought the intensity was there. I just didn't feel like the match felt like there was intensity to it. Like I didn't feel like there was a big reason other than like, I want to be tag team champion.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know what though? I'm glad to have some nice heel tag champs.
yeah, I am too, because
we
the
go.
tag division needs it. You need a heel to build a division, and then you need faces to rise up through the ranks to fight the heel.
You need a villain to build a superhero.
Exactly.
As simple as it
Yeah.
is. You just need one. There's no superhero movie without a big bad.
Mm-hmm.
So-
And I think New Day were the big good for so long that, and their last heel run, I'm not sure if you were watching at the time. New Day, like they started off
as heels, yeah.
and they were really good. Everyone was going, New Day sucks. It was really great, and like even Big E as a heel is a menace. And like, they're shaking their ass and the crowd's booing them. So I think that's even better. But and then that's when they started bootios and stuff like that as heels. So I think it's really cool that they're heels again, and I like the more serious.
Yeah.
I love the drip they've been rocking recently too.
Dude, they're dripped out.
They're fucking.
That's more towards Raw because they weren't presented like that
Yeah.
before Mania at all. By the way.
Yeah, no, I love their outfits.
Yeah.
What was it based off of? I think it was Dragon Ball. I think they came out in Dragon Ball outfits.
Yeah.
again. I'll look at it later. But yeah,
I think it was like Frieza almost, maybe.
it was something like I'll look at it.
I might be wrong.
But
Then we got, oh yeah, our boy coming away with the dub.
yes, sir.
For Mexico. Let's go. We did it. We did it again. El Grande Americano in his WrestleMania debut shows everybody why he is the greatest luchador on this damn planet.
That
You guys
entrance.
fight me on it.
I texted you during the entrance, and you didn't get back to me.
I was enjoying
I
the
know.
entrance. It
That's-
was really good. The promo package beforehand,
Oh my god.
really good. I'm glad that they got him an interpreter because
Yeah.
he doesn't speak that well of English.
No, I think that was him speaking English. That was his voice.
Was it?
That's El Grande
I
Americano.
thought they were interpreting for him.
No, that was his voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was.
I can't see over the mask. and
Yeah,
I-
it's hard. Sometimes the
he's
lips are a
usually,
little stifled.
he's usually speaking in Spanish. I'm not used to him speaking in
He
English.
speaks, like his Spanish is like a little. The dialect from Gulf of America is really different than
Yeah.
anything else. So
Dude, oh my, that promo was cooking.
yes,
And it's true, even though I love the LWO, the reason that I love them is because they are like knockoffs of El Grande Americano.
yeah, and so they respect him. They pay tribute to him.
Yeah, like-
He's been doing this for how long? A century now. Like I really feel like he's.
It's like saying you
It's a
can't like
baton.
a spear.
You're right.
Like, no, I Goldberg did a spear, but I
Yeah.
like Braun Breakers a
I
lot.
like Roman Reigns a lot. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, LWO is my cup of tea for
Yep.
when El Grande isn't around. And he hasn't been around for decades.
Exactly. He was hiding. Some say the renaming of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America actually made him ascend from the sea,
Yeah.
and that's when he can't really.
I
kick
heard
into
that's
place.
when he hid.
Yeah.
That he went down to, like almost like the Avatar. He
Yeah.
was in the water.
He-
and he was in the water. And when Lucha needed him the most, he disappeared.
Yes, and then there was great strides with Lucha Underground, and then they went away again.
And then there was promotions like AAA, C-Mall, Lucha Underground. But he didn't come
MLW,
out.
yeah.
During the wars, he didn't come out. He kept in there through
Because
COVID.
why are luchadors warring when we should be celebrating? And I think he's really allowed us to celebrate the culture that is lucha libre. Coming out with the mariachi band, I almost cried. I literally felt a tear welling up, and I held it in because I know he wouldn't want me to cry. He'd want me to be strong
No,
through that
right.
entrance.
And I did feel a lot of it.
I felt the sadness of Joaquin Phoenix in that moment, and I felt the sad. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I really feel like we felt the unheard be voiced.
Yeah, for so long, people want to call it the Gulf of Mexico, but we need our representation in America. The Gulf of Mexico is represented through the name of the Gulf of America. We are still being
And
represented. We don't have to hide
It's not
behind
that like
the
we're
Mexico
the
name.
exactly. It's not even that like we're the ones being represented. We're just naming it after our hero,
Right.
El Grande Americano.
Exactly.
Like
He rose from the water.
He literally resides there. Why are we not naming it after him?
when he
You know
came
what
out
I'm
of the
saying?
fusion ball
Exactly.
and he rose up to save Lucha.
And the mask literally like shh, it was a work of art.
Save Lucha.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad he's around. And that match, it was 7 minutes and 50 seconds, like
Really, was
around
that,
there.
It was really. I thought it felt like it was really.
That match was really good. I was so invested, and I was taken along the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray Phoenix. Of course, when you copy and you mimic a
Yes.
style and you become really good at it, you're gonna get a really good match.
Yes.
You're gonna get a really good.
Also, before we even get into like the other can I talk about how disrespectful Vikingo was as a fan? Because you're there as a fan, you don't work there.
No, you don't.
You don't work there.
TKO bought your company so you could throw kicks in WWE. That's
So
not
you can
how it works.
So you can assault El Grande?
You're so disrespectful. You're so disrespectful to Lucha.
You're not even a luchador. You're a Viking. You're a Viking. The Vikings weren't in Mexico.
No.
They were in Iceland.
Yeah, I don't know
Greenland?
what you're doing here. I don't know.
You're not-
know what you're doing in my WWE.
No.
AAA, get out of WWE. We have luchadors. We have El Grande Americano. We have Andrade. We have Joaquin Phoenix. Get out of here. Get lost. El Vikingo, let me see. Before I see anything, let him get through Joaquin Phoenix. Then let's see if you could come up and then let's see if you could throw kicks at our avatar, the last luchador, the last real luchador.
Mexican Kurt Angle.
Mexican.
Okay, no, even to more point, y'all copied him so much he wanted to invent a new move.
Dude.
Moonsault senton?
The 450 moonsault?
It was like a 450 senton or something. I don't even know. Oh my God.
And that's how you know. That's what got me mad, and I'm glad that Wade Barrett called out Michael Cole.
Barrett, once again, Wade Barrett, even like outside of this, Wade Barrett is the best commentator in WWE in my eyes. Him and Booker T have like brought.
He's got some bad news.
Yes. Like them like breaking like down things and like the way they have like relationships within like with certain characters. I think it saves the product. Like Booker T with Stephanie McCurry, I saw the biggest critique online was that there wasn't Booker T going
yeah. When she did the match, when she did the spot, Michael Cole said Booker T would have had a heart attack. This happens all the time down at NXT. Yeah. Like, I think that was the best way they promoted the product.
Booker T is having the best time too. That's the best part.
Ducky, quack, quack.
I love watching the crowd. They record Booker T, and Booker T looks at them. He's cracking up, and they're cracking up with Booker T. They're like, ah,
dude. But the thing is, I like Booker T's commentary, especially for fans like us. But the thing is,
and he's like a Vic Joseph.
It can be off-putting.
Oh yeah, that's why it needs a Vic Joseph.
Because I think Obafemi was walking down, which was a great triple threat match. We'll mention it a little bit more. It was a great.
I love it.
And then you got Booker T in the background. He goes, "No water, no bread. That's all me."
I love him, bro. Booker T makes the NXT, I think, has the best commentary team right now, and I think like there's so much love and like character, and like you could tell how attached Booker T is to the growing process of all these characters because he helps in reality and wrestling and all that. Dude, and I think it really pays off in the long run because it helps us build connections to them. Yeah. Like, without Booker T, there's no big Trick Williams push. No, without Booker T, we don't get a big Obafemi enjoyment. No. I think eventually they get over, but I don't think as well as they did.
I don't even know if people started barking until Booker T did. I don't think they were really getting behind the Braun bark, and look at it now. Yeah. And that whoop, that trick, who are they quoting?
Right.
Come on. Ducky, ducky, quack, quack.
Hulk Hogan!
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Tell me.
He has some really good ones.
I didn't believe him. I used to think he was just being petty when he was talking about The Rock. I believe that The Rock stole everything from Booker T.
He definitely did.
Because he's the bookend, everything.
He definitely took everything.
I can't even blame him. I would steal from Booker T, too.
His swagger was different. Yes, and I don't think there's anybody who has like been that massive to move in the ring the way that
he did. Have you seen him built now? Dude, he wrestles on Reality of Wrestling. He's shredded.
How can he still do that scissor kick at like damn near 60?
He's shredded. Bro, I can't even lift my leg up that high.
No, dude. He has mobility.
I literally hear it tearing.
It's like he grew into his body and morphed into it as he gets older. But
so cool.
So El Grande Americano comes away with the win. And so what? We had to use tactics. That's to show you guys that you guys don't know how to manipulate lucha the way that he does.
As if they didn't use tactics. He got kicked in the head before the match.
Right.
If anything, imagine if the metal plate was there. You wouldn't be kicking him down.
And I loved it because Ray Phoenix thought he had him right where he wanted him.
With a stupid little rope running.
Oh, yeah. Roof runs the rope. Ow, my foot.
Yes.
Hobble your way back to AAA.
Hop on ropes now.
Yeah.
Hop on ropes now. Peg leg.
And then he tries to. Yeah. He tries to. He hits a little springboard, the jump back for a freaking headbutt.
Dead. And then we get the most beautiful flying headbutt the industry's ever seen.
Mm-hmm. And poor little Vikingo. Are you okay, Ray? Just shut up. Both of you, take your butts over to AAA. Come see us at Worlds Collide. Come see us at Worlds Collide. But don't show your face again.
Vikingo, get a mask.
Ugly ass. Yeah. Ugly ass. The only person that shouldn't wear a mask is Dominic Mysterio.
And because he's outgrown his.
But there's a reason for it.
You saw he struggled taking it off.
Did you see
I
what
saw
he said
his,
about it?
Yeah, like it being like.
It made a lot of sense.
It did.
And it's because
Yeah.
of and that mask that he
Was his grandfather? No, his uncle, his great uncles, I think.
Yeah, but you know who it was gifted from? El Grande Americano.
Really?
So it has like those Jim Carrey type of powers,
Yes.
and that's what it's for.
That does make sense.
But the thing is, he has outgrown. It's like he's not part of the Fire Tribe anymore. You
Yeah.
know, and he's
And I
Zuko.
think El Grande has given him the passage to leave and walk his own route as a man.
I think Dominic Mysterio.
I think he's the next one.
I think he's very much Zuko.
Yes, and El Grande's Uncle Iroh.
Yes.
Wow.
And he's trying.
And Booker and not Booker.
His father is his father.
Rey Mysterio is the Fire Lord.
That exactly.
Wow, that must mean Joaquin Phoenix.
He's there.
He's Azula.
Probably. I
And
mean,
we're
like,
gonna have a big fight between. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be so emotional.
We're gonna see it.
I'm gonna be so
But I
emotional.
really do feel like he doesn't need the Fire Tribe anymore. He could go off
yeah,
on his
you're right.
own, and that's why he struggled to
right.
take it off.
Yes.
And it was like lucha culture. And I understand.
Yes.
It. I understand. But boom,
There's
he
such
gets
a-
it off, and it made sense. It gave him but he held it up with respect to
Exactly.
Grande Americano. He was like, "Here, guys, this is my culture.
Yes.
Lucha, Dominic Mysterio." We'll
What
get
a
back
legend.
to
What a
Fatu
legend.
and LA Knight.
Yeah, what a match. Let me tell you, the crowd was so dead.
Yeah, they sucked.
They earned that crowd back. They had to claw so hard. And then all of a sudden, Jacob Fatu goes for a moonsault. LA Knight catches him out the air with the BFT, and I lost my shit. Oh my God. Wow.
So, like, I'm not one of those pro wrestler guys that got to be next to Jacob Fatu. But when I got into wrestling around 2022, he's a bit from this area. He wrestled MLW, wrestled a lot of shows in New Jersey.
Oh, Samoans.
Yeah, and while it's BP Dub, like, he has been known to be cooking. And oh my goodness, to see him on the grandest stage of them all. The grandest stage of them all. While he was in the crowd for Royal Rumble.
Yes.
All he waited for is to get his chance. He got it, and I like how in the match they were like, oh, he's done stints in jail.
Yeah.
Like, and that he came out and he was sleeping in a warehouse
Exactly.
just on a bed. And that's real. That's real.
I think
it's something that happens close to you, that when you see somebody, and I'm not saying that I'm close to Jacob Fatu at all.
Yeah.
But just
It
to see,
still
like,
hits the spot, though.
A hero to come from this area, and people could say, oh, it's his family. Dude, he won the title. He won the title this Mania. You know why? Because he's that damn good.
I won't say it's the family. I really don't think so, because he really earned it.
Yeah.
Like, he was MLW champion for like 3 years straight. It was wild. And he was just cooking. And I honestly thought once he was done, because they were saying that like WB can't sign him because he's banned from traveling, whatever. And then now here he is. He's having a run of a lifetime, cutting crazy promos, showing why they were wrong to sleep on him in the first place.
Dude, and I just want to say, like,
You know, it was a really nice moment after the match. I saw they recorded Haku, I believe his name is. Haku coming out.
yeah.
Because if you know Haku, he's a menace.
Yeah, he's about it.
I love Haku.
Paul Heyman gives him a shout out during his Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, Haku is a beast. Watch him versus Big Show, and watch how Big Show gets his ass beat.
Yeah, supposedly he's the shooter.
He's the shooter.
The shooter.
And so to see underappreciated guys like Haku come in and like see the underappreciated nephew, the guy that everyone casted aside, he's the bad guy. We don't talk to him. We don't deal with him. To see those two have a moment at Mania, that was really touching. I really think that's what wrestling's all about.
Dude, and that's not even just wrestling, dude. That's what life's about.
Yes.
If you have an excuse to even say, like, and I'm not saying, because I haven't been through it myself, but I'm saying, looking at a story like Jacob Fatu's, that, you basically had every door shut on you.
Yeah.
Everything. And he went and he broke him down.
Exactly.
He broke him down all the way to Mania.
And then he broke them down, built up new ones that welcome people in.
Don't tell me that, it's very difficult to go and get a job as someone who was in jail before. Dude, this guy was on the grandest stage of WrestleMania. He did more than went and got a job.
I think it does go to show how difficult it is, though. And I think he told the story well. I think
it is difficult.
Story.
Oh, yeah,
I think it should bring more perspective onto like us as people who haven't had to go through that struggle, who haven't had the faults that they've had to overcome, and like when we sit next to them in a job interview, like how dare certain people are like to even judge them and cast that judgment upon.
No, I think what they could do.
Yes, and I think him breaking down that barrier, I hope it continues to break down that barrier for kids like Zilla. Zilla had a bad upbringing, like, he didn't have his dad.
It's a societal construct that
it's big in today's society, especially amongst this generation and like the millennials.
That if you mess up, it's done.
Yeah, and I think we're finally like with guys like, even as silly as it may sound because it's wrestling and WrestleMania, I think deep down there is someone who sat in a jail cell who watched that moment, and I really believe that there is a moment where like, look what we did. Because when you are on a stage like that, you're representing so much people. You're representing so much people, Everyone. And that was so cool.
More than just his family.
Yeah, that moment was bigger than I think a lot of people realize, and I think I didn't realize it now until like you spoke on it, and I'm like, wow, that's
dude. He did it.
Yeah,
he did it. I mean, like, I know some guys that were on the same show as him. Yeah, and they carry around memorabilia.
He was backstage with me once. I didn't talk to him because I was scared.
A lot of people knew. Everybody around him knew how special he was.
Yeah.
And they would come and tell stories because it felt like you were around him. Just hearing stories from the guys who were around him, because Jacob Fatu he's like a legend. Yes. He's a legend, definitely amongst this scene, and like maybe guys who will see this that know us. Like, he was huge here. He was huge. Everyone knew he was that good. Mm-hmm. Now everyone knows he's that good.
What a story. And LA Knight.
They're cooked.
Like, he's another guy that I'm so tired of hearing. No. And I thought that's what made it so much better.
He was beating the hell out of Jacob Fatu.
And then he showed that he could just wrestle. Mm-hmm. People, like, they always hire him. Oh, he's the good charisma guy. He's like a Miz. And both of them always go out their way to be like, hey, guys, look what I could do. I'm a good wrestler.
I think he has some nerves, and the matches that he goes over, and I think he thinks that he has to overperform.
LA Knight's another guy who has such a good story behind him.
Yes.
He was signed to WWE.
Two guys in that match that had a great story,
I think overall, just seeing them go from, like, LA Knight's never going to be a WWE guy. He was always the WWE guy on the indies, and like that also casted like a lot of hate amongst him because there was a very territorial war between being a part of the Fed and being on the indies. And I think there was such a good moment seeing LA Knight finally come in and like finally get that moment.
Dude, and when he was putting over COVID, he was putting somebody over this time,
and then
it showed
he came back from them just wanting him to be a manager and stuff like that. He fought against everything, and then he got naturally over. They had to put him against Roman. They had to put him in the Fatal 4-Way with Styles, Roman.
Undeniable.
So good. And then to see it, the whole crowd, the whole crowd just like, any move you do, it's...
Yeah. And you know what? We're failing him a little bit. Yeah. But it's, where does he go from now?
Yeah.
Main event push?
Money in the Bank's coming up. That's what I always looked forward to after Mania. I know Money in the Bank's around the corner. Yeah. And I think that's going to be really crazy this year.
And this year, it's going to be even crazier because we got Worlds Collide.
And we're back.
So I went pee right when we got into the Worlds Collide conversation. And upon return, we figured out how to use these mics.
Remember, there's a front of the mic?
Remember, this is episode 2. And I hope that this makes your experience of listening to this podcast a little bit better, because it definitely makes recording it a lot better.
It makes my ears feel better.
Yeah, because I'm not constantly...
When I'm hearing myself, I'm not like worried that I sound like garbage.
Yeah, and we're drifting in and out constantly. Sorry for anybody who was listening to the podcast any time before this, because now we're cooking.
What's crazy is they were listening to our voices bounce off the floor. Mm-hmm. That's what they were listening to. Wow.
Yeah, we had our mics complete... I can't imagine where my mic was last time because I sounded horrible.
This sounds great. This sounds really good. All right. We're gassing it right now, but
we're excited. We're excited. That's a minute of just mic talk.
All right.
But let's get into Worlds Collide. So when we're talking about Worlds Collide, we're talking about Money in the Bank. Yeah. Money in the Bank in Los Angeles, a very Hispanic-driven community.
You're right. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. That's going to go crazy.
That's going to be gas.
Phoenix, Pensa.
It's the only pay-per-view that is actually somewhere else that
and it's Rey Mysterio's hometown.
I wish I could be there. Dominic Mysterio champion.
I wonder how much tickets would cost.
Dude, definitely. Well, this is the thing about it. Yeah. It's really weird the way they announced it, they're talking. They bring up Andrade. They bring up Stephanie Vaquer. They bring up all these people. I mean, I'm sorry about saying Stephanie Vaquer because she is NXT, but everybody else
counts,
who is main roster was being promoted behind Triple H. And I'm sorry, excuse me that I don't know the villain's name of who runs that shitty ass company that is trying to ruin El Grande Americano. But I don't know what his name was. They brought up all the main roster guys behind them and some of our goats.
Yeah.
Basically, like our Mount Rushmore just standing in human form. Like, but anyways, they have them all behind them, but they're pitching it as NXT.
Yeah.
Is it NXT?
So Worlds Collide is going to be NXT and AAA.
But why bring, is it really though? Or is it, we're going to have some talent from there?
I hope they bring Dragon Lee down because I just need him on a.
I mean, wouldn't Worlds Collide be really stupid if we
this
collide
is
worlds and you only collide the worlds that people have already who came from there? People
Worlds
who
Collide used to be NXT UK and NXT, and they used to come together and have this pay-per-view. But now that NXT UK is gone,
how would they match it up? I can see them.
I think they're trying to do NXT Mexico. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
And I hope they don't name it NXT Mexico.
No, it's just AAA.
I hope they do like NXT, like a NXT Mexican Championship.
So they have acquired AAA.
Yes,
completely.
They merged almost, like it's a merger.
Now is it more so like it's not an NXT? It's more so like a TNA, a working partnership. Yet
no,
TKO
it's like it's gonna be like an NXT because they own it.
They're gonna ruin it. And I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's why. No, they're gonna ruin it.
But they're gonna make it better.
No, they're not.
They're gonna get people are gonna get paid more. But it's not gonna be their people anymore.
I don't know if you were watching, but Progress before WWE acquired it was probably the best promotion in the world. And
I don't even hear of it.
Yeah, that's my point.
And Evolve
so
too.
Progress had guys like, this is back when he was Walter, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, all of Mustache Mountain. They were called British Strong Style, the faction of them.
Yeah,
insane.
Now, do you think?
And then WWE bought them, and they basically wiped out the UK scene. That and the Me Too movement, which was really messed up. But the UK scene got hit really hard by that. And
so do you think this is like the way that they're working with Noah? No, I know it's not. Like, I know you're going to reiterate to me, no, they have acquired it.
You're right, though. This is, so the original proposition that happened with Noah was originally for AJPW. Triple H reached out to, I believe, Jun Akiyama, who was like a wrestling legend. Mm-hmm. And he was like, we would like to buy AJPW because they wanted to do NXT Japan. And the original plan for NXT was we're going to have an international indie everywhere. NXT Mexico,
like the
NXT
World Cup.
Brazil, yes. And
he's been trying to push that.
Yes.
This is a step in that direction.
Well, TKO has the money to do whatever the hell they want. They're starting a boxing company in Saudi.
Yeah.
That's going to be $1 billion company by the
money.
end. It's insane money. It's bad money, but it's money.
Blood money. Ronaldo takes it.
Well, it's Ronaldo. Yeah.
I mean, he's a lot of people's go. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think it is going to end up being, this is just NXT Mexico.
Well, we predicted this, by the way.
Wednesday night wepa.
And we were actually going to do. This is going to be our brand a
You're
while
right.
ago. This is much better.
Yeah, this is really cool. Like we had an idea because our town is has a huge Hispanic population, and we were trying to encourage them to just be a part of the community more. And we were gonna literally do a promotion under the brand name Wepa, and it was gonna be really cool. So I think it's really cool that that's not what they're calling it, obviously.
Yeah. But not Wednesday night.
That's
Wepa.
what we're calling it, just because
Worlds Collide. NXT and AAA is definitely Wednesday Night Wepa, glorified.
Yeah.
In WrestleMania of Wednesday Night Wepa.
We should cover it on a Wednesday. I think that'll be really cool.
Dude, we might, drop in the comments if you want us to live react to Worlds Collide. Because
we should just do that.
That's something I'm down to do.
Yeah.
And honestly,
we'd have to figure out the setup and all, but it'd be cool.
And since I don't want to record a separate video for this, guys, please, hot takes. And we're going to create a little bit of a channel so we could get our internet wrestling community
by the time this video goes up, I'll have a Discord ready, and then eventually we'll have a Twitch, everything going. We're going to be gaming with you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to be
rewatching matches,
Q&As, have you guys on to talk with us.
Yeah. Shout out Dario. He's going to be on here next podcast if he's able to make it. He's just getting home from Las Vegas right now. Him and a group of guys from around our area, 8 guys went up over to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And dude,
they probably had the time of their lives.
Dude, I'm going to save, it's not my stories to tell.
Yeah.
So
They're
like,
crazy?
yeah, dude, they're really
Yeah.
cool. Like he saw a lot of NXT guys, stayed in
Yeah.
the same hotel as they're walking through. Like
That's what I love about Mania weekend. When it was
Dude.
in MetLife, I went to Target, which is across the street from Barclays Center. I met Tyler Bate.
yeah,
I went in Target.
no
'cause
Tyler Breeze. I thought
Tyler Breeze. That's what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
meant. Sorry, I was thinking about New Catch Republic.
I don't do it, but
Yeah, you did. He even prepped himself like I told you would. He was going. Yes.
I think we should have a count, or I might go back and count the first podcast how many times he did it. Because I was trying to clip it,
Republic.
and it felt disrespectful to clip any of them out, but he did it so many times. It was like a minute 30.
Yes, I'm just
Of
New Catch Republic.
Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne were in
Yeah.
that battle royal. They were cooking. Everybody in that battle royal was cooking. I cannot dude, the matches and the product that we received this weekend overall, if I'm counting all of WrestleMania weekend, I slap a 9.5 on it.
I wish they.
I'll slap a 9.5 on
That's
it.
very valid. I would give it a 6 only because they waited so long to make it feel like WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the build up. I'm
No,
talking
no,
about Mania
yeah.
weekend.
That's why
judging Mania
that's what's
weekend.
taking it away from me.
You think so?
Because I walked into the weekend
Well,
defeated.
The exact thing that I'm keeping out of it
Yeah.
is that for that reason.
That's
so
why
I
I
could
have
just
to. But I feel like I have to include it because
Yeah.
as a fan, Mania month in general
sucked. I'll give it.
But like it's supposed to be so cool. I'm supposed to see all the festivities, and I feel like it being in Vegas is probably a big detriment. Where like I feel
You know
like
what got me
everything's so
mad?
expensive.
You know what got me
Even-
mad?
Yeah.
Even like one of the really cool things that I was excited for got let down about.
What?
The roast, WrestleMania roast.
I didn't even watch it.
Can't.
No, it's down.
No, it's a closed door Las Vegas.
Oh, you see, I hate when they do stuff like Taker's one man show.
Yeah.
I understand Taker doing it. I like that he wanted to keep it like a personal product.
Well, they don't want to get canceled. Kill Tony does this all the time.
Yeah.
And like
Kill Tony-
Kevin Hart does it. Joe Rogan speaks about it.
I
That they
think
go to these like
that's
where you
cool,
can't
though.
get canceled.
I want to
type of
go
comedy
to.
shows.
I would like to go to one of those
I
comedy
want to
shows. Yes.
listen to it. I heard that Paul Heyman and Fluffy were about to.
Oh, Paul Heyman would mess him up.
Paul Heyman's getting real racist and he's getting real comfortable.
You think so?
Yeah, and as me
At the show.
Pat McAfee show after the fact.
Pat McAfee too. He's getting a little crazy.
Yeah. All of them. All of them were getting a little
It's
wild.
getting a little funny.
But he said to this one guy, and this might be I don't even want to say it because I don't want to be the one being like, oh, I'm hating on Paul, because I'm not. I don't care. And I didn't care for the comment. I thought
He's
it was
from
kind of
New
funny.
York. He will whoop your ass.
Well, he said to the one kid that's speaking, he's screaming from the crowd. This is after what we're about to talk about. He stands up and he goes, "You look like you're about to get deported. You shut up." And I was like,
Oh, that's such bad timing. Because did you hear what Roman said?
yeah.
This is so I don't know what's going on with WWE PR recently. They're just not watching their mouths anymore. And like I'm not saying that you have to like be silent about your opinions if
No.
I don't care about them. If I don't care for your opinions, I don't care for your opinions. But at a certain level, you don't talk about them on
Keep the Andrew Tate tactics
yes.
over there. I don't like the
I don't need it from a Roman Reigns.
I don't need
need it from a John Cena. I don't need it from a Triple H.
And I'll say this one time and one time only.
Yeah.
Everybody's entitled to their opinions, and the way that you express them, fine. Even if it's like this and I'm hating on it a little bit, it's to the point that also it's you and
Yeah.
we have our platform to say whatever the hell
Exactly.
we want. Just because
But
they're
also understand that
they're
Yeah.
big guys though.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I want to understand for them. They still have voices, they still have
that's
thoughts,
what I'm
they're
saying.
still
They have such
humans.
big weight on them.
And the thing is, like, everybody's waiting, like, oh, Roman can't support this. Oh, Paul can't talk like this. Honestly, if your uncle's allowed to do it, and you know,
I
if you're
agree.
working at Taco Bell and you have a conversation with a manager there, and you're like, oh, that manager's racist, she still keeps her job.
Yeah.
She's still, you know, it's just that lady that you don't like. Over here, it's like, oh, since they have such eyes on them, we should pull them out of the spotlight because they're acting that way. And it's like, I get it, but like, unless you're like doing serious damage and you're really violating.
like
whatever.
from Paul's perspective, I don't think it's a funny joke to make right now.
No.
I probably in the moment everyone thought it was funny. I probably would have giggled at it. If
No.
it was bad. Like it felt
Like,
distasteful.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like these are bad times.
His
And-
whole thing felt distasteful.
and that's why like let's like cut the curtain on everything and like all that. Like when you look at the Chad Gable situation, it's, like I can understand why people are upset. When you look at like that's why I can understand. When you look at like, that's why I really like this like AAA merger for that reason.
Yeah.
I feel like the community in general is hurting, and I think humans in general are hurting because we're seeing so much hurt going on.
Yeah.
And I think as a wrestler, your job is to be the character that's fake. And us pulling back the kayfabe curtains, go ahead and do that, but understand what you mean to people. And I think there's a weight that comes with being famous that you know you're going to have. And I think that does make you different as a human being because now you're in a different tax bracket than us. You don't have to follow the same laws as us.
Yeah, you get
respect what you're doing.
Respect your crowd a little bit.
Yeah, respect us. Like that sounds very selfish, but like respect the people that do fly this banner everywhere they go. Respect the people that fly every other banner everywhere they go.
And I'm not like taking this situation and making it like, oh, it's out of hand.
Yeah.
Let's not let it get out of hand because right now I really don't care about it.
Yeah.
And like I know like we're harping on something that could, if in the future, happen and kind of did happen on Pat McAfee's show. Yeah. I don't want other people thinking that they have the same leeway. Paul Heyman can't do it. Yeah. Because it felt like he was still in that roast mood from last night. Yeah. And he was hanging around the guys who were at the roast.
And it kind of, this is why it's good to like have this is why I understand the closed curtain.
Yeah. And he brought it outside of there. Yes. And I don't think he really understood the difference. And he was talking about
Joe Rogan actually said it best, which is insane because Joe Rogan's had a really bad track record recently. When Tony Hinchcliffe went to that rally and he said what he said, I'm not going to discuss politics too much. Yeah. Joe Rogan said he was.
But they brought it. They brought Tony and everything into it. It's worth talking about.
Joe Rogan had said he was stupid. If Joe Rogan's calling you stupid, you're stupid because he's Joe Rogan. He's stupid.
Yeah, and he does the most stupid things out in public.
Podcast. Yeah. He knew there's a time and a place, and how you say things matter, and who you're speaking to matters, and what you're doing and the consequences of what you're saying matter. So don't be the consequence of a domino effect.
Right.
And I felt like there was a consequence to the domino effect. And a lot of people watching this, wrestling fans in general, I feel like there's a large majority of you guys who aren't going to feel the effects of this, who come from towns that aren't being affected. Yeah. But like, even in our small town, there's like ice.
Oh yeah. And it's sad to see
it's sad that I see on Facebook people I'm friends with saying, hey guys, look out at
Walmart. Yeah. And ice is coming up. I'm like, whoa. But honestly, I feel bad for the people that are really like truly affected by it because it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. Sad. But the thing is, you have to really put yourself in that perspective of the family who's, and there I'll take it away. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. But like,
it's just a good point that you made. And I'm really happy you brought it up because I think it's important for us to talk about.
It's crazy to see that, one of the guys that we all look up to, but he says it himself. He's like, you can't cancel me unless, and he said worse. And the company that we support has done so much worse.
Which is why I think right now
JBL had a whole gimmick.
Yes, which is why I think it's so important now that they need to act now and be better now. You're in a position now where you're $1 billion. So
company. What do you say to Paul Heyman about that comment? Do you not address it?
I think you do address. Oh, I don't think we address him.
No.
I think we're gonna.
WWE
needs to make him put out an apology.
Really?
And it's not gonna be. I don't like when they do that. But WWE needs to be sincere in their standing that look at all the people that we just brought into our roster. We just brought people over from Mexico who probably have family dealing with this. If you're not gonna apologize online, which I don't care. Honestly, I didn't know about the situation, so I can't. I'm not too affected by it. I'm just upset that it happened, and like I understand the weight of it.
And I don't feel the way that I'm bringing it up. Yeah. I'm just speaking from what I'm seeing online, from the reaction. And I'm not going to lie, we were sitting there, and when I was listening to it, I'm cleaning my room, I'm vacuuming and everything. And when I hear it, I turn the vacuum off, and I'm like, yes. What did he say?
If anything, apologize to your friends.
It was funny.
Yes.
It was funny.
It probably was.
But the thing was, like, you could tell that he was getting at Fluffy the night before. And that's what caused, because he said Fluffy got really mad at him at the roast, like actually shoot mad at him.
You see, then like there's problems, and like you need to look within yourself as a human being and like see what's going on. There's nothing I could do or nothing anyone could do.
It's unexcusable. And but the thing is, sometimes I laugh at unexcusable things.
Like,
so
I have bad humor. I'm gonna laugh at the worst things, and then I'll feel bad about it later, or like I'll talk about it and talk about why it's wrong that I laugh at it. But I'm still gonna laugh at it.
Let's get into the main event.
Let's move on.
We're talking about Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And not to hinder anything, because let's separate the two.
We're going to separate it for now, and maybe just think about it. Like that's going to be the moral of this conversation. Let's just think about human beings. Yeah. On to the main event. What a show. What a match. Like I
from the jump. From the jump.
Yeah.
From the jump. Flamethrower.
coming out of the all white.
Oh, all black to
It's
the all
black,
white.
Yes.
Oh my! And you know what? We didn't even touch Seth's promo at all that we were talking about on SmackDown.
We would touch it here.
There was a bit of foreshadowing the night
Yes.
before. The night before when he said, just the way that Seth Rollins has pushed this storyline leading up to this, he did it the right way, and it made sense that I was like, oh, it's lacking a little bit from Roman Reigns, it's lacking a little bit from CM Punk, but it made sense at the end of why we're using Seth Rollins as the catalyst for this feud. And it worked so well. And it was predictable. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, but
it still broke my heart.
In the ring, when the chair was being slid and everything, he broke whatever that was.
Yes.
He was able to break it down right beforehand and be like, is he actually going to?
Yes.
And then that's the thing. So you could be Mr. Predictions at wrestling. It's not that predictable because every second isn't.
I called it. I said he's walking in with Punk and leaving with Rollins.
Yeah.
We
had it written down on paper.
My heart was shattered. My heart was shattered.
Dude, not me. I'm going to be honest. Oh my goodness.
Well, because you were big
and
Rollins
you
guy.
could ask Vince, when we started wrestling together, it's really when I got back into wrestling.
Yeah.
I went to one show and dude, even if you look at that show, remember that show when Seth Rollins retained?
Yeah.
And there was like Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. And he cashed in the Money in the Bank right there in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
And it was
really cool.
Yeah. And then Seth Rollins retained. I am going insane. I'm going crazy. But
I'm at the show too, I remember.
But guess what? It's for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
So are we eating as Seth Rollins fans at that moment?
No.
I don't think so. Okay, so let's move forward.
Yeah.
Then we get into his reign of United States champion and that match at War Games against Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. Cooked.
That's what you expect from though.
Yeah, and is he eating at that point though? No. Are we eating? No. And then we keep going, and like I'm even going to events dressed up as Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I remember.
And then we get into where Cody Rhodes is basically getting the push that Seth Rollins could have
gotten.
Then
the Rollins-Cody feud.
And then
fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good. But we get into a little bit of them getting along.
Yeah.
And where Seth gets into I think Cody, no, I don't think he was involved in it, but it was for the championship. Yes, he was. He wrestled somebody. I don't remember who it was. Somebody messed up his opportunity in that world title picture tournament. Like when they first introduced it, I think he like got screwed over in round one by like
Cody did?
Yeah, like Solo Sikoa or something. Because we're like,
you're right. It was something.
It was like, so Cody's not even going to be participating in it at all. And then like they had the little face off right next to that new world title. That solidified it for me. That's the first introduction of that title. You saw Cody Rhodes staring at Seth Rollins over top of it. And the first match is really good. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins for that belt.
Banger.
And the inaugural champ. Great.
Yeah.
Are we eating?
No. I think everybody else, like Shinsuke fans, we got to eat.
Are we
Finn Balor fans?
Okay,
we got to
but
eat.
what are we worried about at this time, really, in the main event scene? Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. Are we eating? No. So this whole time that I'm going to Payback dressed up as Seth Rollins, we're singing the song. I got the glasses. Even bringing it into my own like realm a little bit. Even everyday life, bringing a little bit of Seth Rollins with me. But at the same time, I'm hurting for him because we're not eating. Jinder Mahal's match, again, they cooked on Raw. Am I eating? No, still not eating. Then we get to WrestleMania 40 where he's inserted into the main event. And he's with The Rock, cutting promos with The Rock, cutting stuff with Roman Reigns, being alongside of Cody Rhodes. Are we eating, though? No.
I thought you ate a little bit. I thought you got to eat. I thought you got
to...
I got you got to fine dine a little bit.
Well, okay, yeah. But the thing is, you're at the table here as a big Seth Rollins fan, and you look over at that table, you see Cody Rhodes, you see the real stands of Roman Reigns. That's the conversation on Twitter. That's the conversation on X.
Right.
But
it was Twitter at the time, I think.
Maybe it still was.
It's still Twitter to me.
It is. But like I'm still correcting myself. So even now it's still Twitter. Mm-hmm. But dude, we're not eating yet. And then
right.
he takes he loses his championship and I'm in the crowd and I'm crying.
He's crying. I'm literally on the opposite end of the crowd. Yeah. I'm crying for Damian Priest winning. I'm like, yes.
Dude, then he becomes the MVP of WrestleMania 40.
He does.
Performing in 3 different matches. Yes, there was just the slightest bit, but the most important piece of the main event of why Roman Reigns lost his title. And it ties all in. but it's he's the stepping stone. So Cody could be at the pedestal, and it's just
and that's why this match, I felt like if they really tapped on this just a little bit more in the build-up, I would have no complaints.
Yeah, but and wait, and then we get into where he doesn't come back.
Yeah,
he comes back. He goes off to have surgery.
He comes back at Money in the Bank, I think. Right?
He comes back right before Money in the Bank, and he does a promo in the hat, and the gold hat, the whole little dress up, and I'm like, okay, you know, we're maybe we'll cook. He loses to Damian Priest, and then he starts eating tsunamis from Bronson Reed, puts him over big time.
Yeah,
puts him over big time, and then it's like, still, why aren't we eating? I'm like, what's going on? What are they gonna do
and
with
then
Seth?
What happened? I don't even remember. Like he really like disappeared.
He did the thing with Bronson Reed, and
they
put him out.
Put
him out. Bronson Reed put him out for a little bit, and then they're saying that he has injuries and whatnot, and then he comes back to beef with CM Punk right after the
that was.
And they were asking him in the crowd. They were asking him on the
they
build
asked
up
him to be a part of War Games.
Yeah, and he denied it. And that was that whole little thing. And then CM Punk and him start feuding. They have a great build up.
Why did they not just show any of it? Like, that's my issue.
That is weird, right?
Like, they have the build up. Like when you think in a long scheme of things, the build up was.
Well, they decided to show something else. They decided to show 12 years ago and harp on, let's say a day ago, this day 12 years ago to today, rather than the whole build up.
And I think that hurt the feud in the long run.
Mm-hmm. All he said is like they pushed Roman Reigns, and that CM Punk left. That is the whole in between segment. Mm-hmm. That's how they cover it. But then they go from day one. Seth did such a good job of like just taking. He told the story.
He did such a good job of like being the narrator.
And I'm just gonna say he took Michael Cole's job on this one, which somebody needed to. Yes. Storyline, because it doesn't make sense. Him assuming from the sideline saying maybe it's because of this, because it just makes it just as valid as our points.
Do you know about?
I know that we're eating now.
Oh yeah, we are.
I know that we're eating
now. I'm like new to the Seth Rollins. I hop on and off the Seth Rollins train all the time.
When I met him, he had the same Seth Rollins shirt that I did.
Yeah, do you have it still?
Yeah, I still have it.
have mine.
Shitty merch too.
It was horrible. It
shitty
like
merch.
ass.
It's shitty merch.
Yeah. It was
whoa. Everywhere. The echo.
I used to wear that everywhere, but there's a character in a video game that like Seth Rollins like initially basing his Messiah character off of.
Yeah.
I believe it's either Joseph Seed or Jacob Seed, either or. And the character is based like his whole gimmick is like he's this like this preacher, but he's a preacher to like these people who are like really gullible, and he's like taking this whole community, this whole county, and he's like, taking over the entire town. It's called Far Cry 5.
He's the cult leader.
And Seth Rollins, he tapped into it a bit during COVID when he was the Monday Night Messiah. And I thought it was the best Seth Rollins work ever. I thought like there was so much potential and there was so much good stuff. And then in this match,
during his entrance,
yes, not even just that. Well, that's a big part.
That's where like my girlfriend was sitting next to me and she goes, "Oh, is this the Messiah?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
there was at the end of the match, Seth Rollins, as he gets up and Heyman walks beside him, Seth Rollins has a moment where he looks down and he looks up, and I felt like I was a part of that cult that was just like, that is my Messiah.
It's it's Planet of the Apes when they freaking all are on the same page. And
he became Caesar. Did you watch it yet?
No.
Oh, we got to do that on the Patreon.
Yeah,
also.
Movie nights on Fridays.
Yes.
Hit a little movie night. Hit up the Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm stealing everything from Santi, but it's because Santi produces really good content.
We'll get there.
We'll get there one day. But to be honest, let's even go through the entrances. The entrances themselves. Oh, the promo package leading up to it. The sail into the
I didn't get to see it because I had a different what was it? Peacock. I didn't have.
I watched it on Peacock.
Yeah, but there's like tiers to Peacock subscriptions, I think.
You could see the promo package,
or maybe this is
when it was even on.
I might have missed it because I ran out to go eat, and I had to. Don't do this. I as I was driving to Taco Bell, I pulled it up on my GPS screen, and I had the match there. I'm like, but dude, so I probably missed it. But
the whole promo package was really good. I thought from the beginning though, the Seth Rollins saying is not a prediction; it's a spoiler. Spoiled it for me, number one. But it was still really good into it. But then the sail into the black, I was like, oh, Tyler Black. That's who's winning this match. And I thought they dropped little hints for the hardcore fans to be like, you ready? You ready for the ride we're going to take you on? And it's like, no!
You know what really got me for the entrances? Even through the darkest days, this fire burns always. Oh my God! I was literally, I'm in the car. I can't even get emotional because I'm waiting for the Taco Bell people to bring out my order, but I'm holding it back, and I'm just like, oh my God! Because as a little kid, I despise CM Punk. I hated him, but that's why I love him so much now, and like he's an all-time wrestler of mine.
No drugs.
It's,
No alcohol.
even as a little kid,
I'm
I used to be
straight
like,
edge.
as a kid, until I became a pro wrestler, I was straight edge. And
For CM Punk.
Yes, just because of CM Punk. It wasn't because of anything else. CM Punk's mentality, and that's why I wanted to come into pro wrestling. Just
Even
Yeah.
through.
and to have the moment, I as like a fan got to see CM Punk come out, and
Great entrance. Entrance of the night,
yes,
maybe.
I literally felt something in my soul where I'm like, this is where he's always belonged.
It's where it was it was the promo package it was supposed to be.
Yes.
It was the entrance that he deserved for main event.
And then he had the band. Do you know the story with that band? How they had to like reproduce that song
No.
that he uses, Cult of Personality,
Why?
because they tried taking money from them, like the company that like they published it through. So they published it again once they left, just
Yeah,
for
yeah,
CM
yeah.
Punk. And CM Punk's like, no, you're gonna redo this so you can have ownership, and WWE can pay you. So to see them on that stage and everyone's getting their eats, CM Punk in the main event,
Bro.
I felt so happy. He deserves it.
Bro,
People,
he did.
I hate the conversation of people being like, he walked out on wrestling.
He did.
I don't believe he did. I think wrestling walked away from him. I think wrestling saw a broken man and said, we don't have room for you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something just really tapped my heart when this is back. I only watched AEW because CM Punk came back, and to see him enter a ring again, I was sobbing. And then to see this and see CM Punk on this level again, and even a bigger level.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure if you read his Instagram post he put out. He's like, for the first time and maybe for my last time, I'm glad it was one of the best ones. And I have like, there's so much to this match that made it so amazing.
Dude.
And like even talking about it, like I feel so much because there was so much going into it. And
Yeah.
I just wish they tapped on it just a little more.
I liked all the entrances.
Yes, Roman too.
Roman's was really good. Everything leading up to it was really, really good.
A white glove, white boots.
Dude, he was cooking.
Yes.
The whole outfit was cooking.
Yes.
The CM Punk himself, like, it was the first time.
And the yellow
Dude, that's when I was like...
that was the full moment where I got
that's
chills.
when I noticed. And I was
That's
like,
where I got the chills.
even that he had a little bit of spray tan on his
Yes.
hoodie, and he
Oh
was
my
wearing the gray
God.
hoodie, even to the WrestleMania main event.
Yes.
Nothing fancy.
This is
This is CM Punk. Here he comes. The CM Punk that was supposed to be in the
Wow.
main event.
Yes.
The way that he always wanted
the
it.
fact he
the
wore
entrance
those.
that he
I'm even
wanted.
getting chills now. It's
Dude,
so cool.
Dude, the entrance that he's always wanted.
Yes.
Everything that he's always wanted. Paul Heyman walking down by his side,
Yes.
the guy who believed in him.
Paul Heyman bringing his watch in front of him.
Yeah,
and
he's
Punk
like-
glancing, smirking,
time
and then it's clobbering time.
Dude, that like might have topped his entrance at Survivor Series.
I think it tops all his entrances.
Yeah.
And he had this AEW entrance where he brought back his Ring of Honor theme, and I cried there too.
Bro, but
CM Punk makes me very emotional.
But to top your Survivor Series
Yes.
comeback after
Yes.
10 years, to have a better entrance than that within like the same realm of time is freaking crazy.
I think it's really cool that like we watched Survivor Series together, so everyone saw in real time. Me absolutely lose it.
Bro, I made no sense. They threw up the little thing that it was over, which they did last
Yes.
night too on
And then all
Raw.
of a sudden, yes,
The little freaking like
yes,
when you're putting the thing in a jukebox.
yes, it's so
like,
cool.
oh my goodness, yeah. But the match itself, it starts out really good where Seth is trying to form that alliance with Roman, and Roman's like, nah, F that. And then the whole time, like, you're glancing at Paul Heyman, seeing what's going on, but they just start putting on a match.
A banger.
They start putting on a freaking match.
Roman reminded people how amazing
Yo, I always forget.
you do until he starts wrestling, and then he was cooking. So
Dude, he sells like a genius.
So I think Roman Reigns is the best at selling in pro wrestling, like in
Has to
history, like of all time. He's the best
to
seller.
be.
Better
Doesn't
than
overdo
Michaels.
it.
He's better than Ziggler. He's better than like all the people who oversell, and he's better than people that undersell, that say it's like good detailed selling.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good wrestler.
No, he's really good, bro. Oh, I was gonna say yours has been falling. Tighten it up with
this one.
No, the other one.
Here?
The silver thing right here.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize it was like slowly doing that.
very slowly. In a time lapse, it'll probably look funny.
But to get to where I was going, what did I
Roman was the best seller even.
And to that point, my favorite part of that match, there was a sub story of Roman being alone and realizing all these years he's been a product of manipulation. When Seth Rollins said, "Who do you have now?" and Roman was lost.
That's like one of these things.
Yeah, that's probably this one. There was a moment where Seth said, "You have no one, Roman. There's no one to talk for you anymore. There's no one to lead you anymore. Follow me." And then we got a glimpse at a guy who came to realization that he was somebody's monster.
Yeah.
We got a glimpse of a guy that came to realization that he was WWE's, like he was the needle mover, but he was the needle mover with Paul Heyman.
You're right.
And people probably didn't attribute that to him. And we got a moment where he was the needle mover without the Shield. And then Seth just nails it on. He's like, "Who are you without me? Who are you without Paul? You don't have Mox anymore." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, this is pure cinema. He's like, and this guy comes in after all these years.
He doesn't belong here.
Me and you're going to follow me now. That's what he's basically saying. You're going to listen to me.
And
you're
Roman
my monster. And then Roman
being Roman
battling.
was like that.
No, not even like he battled it at first.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where he's on the outside of the ring. He's just losing his mind. He's really thinking, who do I have no one to guide me.
And it's either he goes in the direction he's been on
and go to the past with the Shield. He has so many lives to look upon because he had to either he's the big dog or he's the tribal chief.
Or he's suffering succotash. Or he's...
And then in that moment, he became Roman Reigns. And maybe that's just me overlooking the dramatization of it.
No, it does.
And then
it's
and then when he says, he's like, "Roman," and then Roman finally set him up, and then everyone's getting excited because they all want to see Shield. Ooh. He became his, and then the power bombs. Roman is a monster of his own now. And I think in that moment, he forgot Paul Heyman existed. I think in that moment, he forgot Seth Rollins was his friend at one point. I think in that moment, he didn't care.
It was time to prove himself.
Was. He cared about being the guy he's been for the past 10 years, and that was the top of the company. And I think in that moment, we see exactly why Roman was handpicked for the longest time, because this was the potential all along. And I think, me personally, when he first started, I slept on it. And to see it culminate after years and years and years of marinating a character the way he's marinated this character, it was finally time to take it out of the kitchen, and it tasted really fucking good.
Like, you had to remove Paul Heyman from the side too, and that's probably going through his head as well. Like, dude, it's been forever that I'm with somebody.
Yes. And that's why it was so good when I'll get to that in just a second. After he power bombs Punk, and then he turns to Seth Rollins.
He didn't powerbomb Seth Rollins. He gave that boy a last ride.
But he didn't acknowledge Paul Heyman when he did it. And then he picks up Rollins, throws him in the ring, proceeds to have the craziest sequence ever that builds into a spear. This was a different Roman Reigns.
Bro, he was cooking.
I felt so compelled by this match. It was so good.
Dude, it turned into a little bit of a finisher fest.
That was really good. It belonged there.
Dude, when
Roman kicking out of all of them, it proved how much he was
kicking out.
That's why it was so good. Roman was a different level, and I think Rollins acknowledging that and using that to his advantage when he was manipulating him makes it even better. And then Punk understanding it later on, because Punk's his own mind, like he's the individual third wheel black horse of the match. Wow.
Dude, Punk was doing great. And that sell from Seth Rollins, well, number one, the sells that Roman was hitting on those GTSs, where it looked like
always
a sack of potatoes. Every single time. It looked really good. He has
the best GTS sell.
That's what everyone's saying. That's the
good.
census. But when Seth Rollins takes that GTS, and then who was it? I think Seth I think CM Punk takes a spear and then he stomps Roman, or there was something to
yeah.
it.
So
Or
it was,
it was like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a GTS. And then I think that,
oh no, he had Seth up for the GTS. Roman spears Punk. Seth stumbles away. So Roman slowly lifts his head and just plants. He plants it. He didn't bring his hand. He just plants it. Wow,
bro, it was crazy.
That match was so good.
It was the best. And then they get us. They get us with everybody down.
Yes.
And then it's like, it's time. Okay. It's time. What everybody who had predicted Seth going with Paul Heyman, now it's time.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't care what anyone says and what they had predicted. The second that he slid that chair to CM Punk, it was like, wait.
This is different.
Yeah, this is how they're going to go with it. And maybe you got a little upset, but everybody started to feel
I
emotion.
was so excited.
People got emotions because they thought, okay, now it's CM Punk and Paul Heyman the way it was supposed to be in the main event. And then he low blows him.
Yes.
And then he goes, no, this is my tribal chief. And he goes back in.
He says, you were my best friend.
Paul
Heyman sent him.
You made me choose.
In that moment, he's like, look what you did. Look what you made me do. Like,
he's my tribal chief.
And then Roman with his like surgically perfect white teeth.
Yeah. Laughing his ass off.
And then he's like, you're my tribal chief.
Gets down on his knees, shuffles to
him. And
him.
then Roman regresses. He had the moment of clarity where he was like, I got to do this on my own. And then in this moment, he was given the safety of having a figure to hold on to help him bear the weight of being the top of the company.
And he felt comfortable again.
That's what it's always been. Roman needs someone to help him bear the load that is the top of the company. Mm-hmm. And he had to bear it so long on his own that like when you see Paul there as the guy who's always been there, my tribal chief, I'll handle it for you. I will meet with these people for you. All you gotta do is come and wrestle. That was Paul's role, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
And then Roman saw that. He got comfortable, and he gave trust to his wise man. Beats up Punk. Then
down.
He said, look, my tribal chief, you can get your payback. This is what you've been waiting for. And then
the crowd felt it.
So beautiful seeing Rollins struggling up the exact way Roman did.
Dude. And he moves Paul behind his back to put the knife in his own back.
And then Paul smirking, waddles around, because you know Paul Heyman, he waddles when he walks.
Yeah.
He drops down, low blows, twists his arm.
No, playing with his nuts.
Yes, dragging him.
He was playing with his nuts. Yes. Crazy, the tribal nuts.
And then Seth slowly gets up. And then that look of knowing where Paul, all of a sudden, he drops the Roman's like side guy. He drops best friend, formal, adjusts the suits, one hand to the pocket, hands over the chair, and then the slowness of Rollins opening his hand, accepting it. Deep inhale, turning around.
Giving Roman back shots.
It was crazy.
Beat him down. Big stomp.
Torture.
Big stomp.
Yes.
Now I'm eating. Oh my goodness, now I'm eating. As a Seth Rollins fan, through and through, at that moment, I saw like, I don't care because people say CM Punk is their favorite. And, so it hurts to see that. Everybody says Roman is their favorite. Yeah. Hurts to see that. I feel survivor's guilt because all these fans who love these guys, they had to feel the wrath of what it's like when you're cheating with Paul Heyman to get on top.
Yeah.
And everybody was eating with it. They didn't taint their taste at all of Roman Reigns. They loved it more.
Yeah.
It added flavor. Now we got the adobo over on this side. We get to put it in. Oh my goodness, bro. Forget the drip god. Forget all that goofy stuff. And I love Seth Rollins through and through it. And I talked about being biased, but bro, oh my, it's not about the glasses. It's not about, no. It's all about Paul Heyman. And that's just in night one.
Yes.
This is the way that I feel on night one.
Yes. And then like before we get to night two, like right after the match, I hit him up and I'm like, I love wrestling. And then I go into my group chat and everyone's like, we love wrestling because that wasn't just Seth Rollins fans eating, that was wrestling fans eating. Yeah. Whether you're a little kid who's going to be so sad and so upset seeing Roman Reigns and CM Punk beaten and battered, or you're a grown man excited to see Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
it was good all around, and the balance of emotions for any fan in that match.
The WrestleMania moment.
I think that might be like one of the best WrestleMania main events ever.
The moment of WrestleMania, the moment of the year.
Yeah.
The moment of since Cody won is this.
That was amazing.
And you know what? Roman Reigns, thank you, because you make the main event.
And did you hear like he's done? Like this is like after this contract he said I have like a year left.
Yeah.
So like we're getting the best work ever on a man who knows he's on a timer. And I think there's like such like layer. There's so many layers to his sadness. And I think I'm so happy that he's gonna get one more face run as a proper face. And like it's gonna be Roman Reigns as the face, but it's gonna
the one he's always wanted.
It's gonna be so bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because you know that like this whole time he's been battling this illness that like no matter what like his body's been affected for the rest of his life. And
he does that crazy spot where he jumps over the barricade,
and
something that Roman doesn't do.
Like he brought back everything, the drop kick, the drive-by drop, bro.
It's cooking.
Oh my god! And I'm so excited that like in his last few years he's gonna be this, and we're gonna get.
How about that guillotine?
Oh my god!
And then Seth Rollins reverses it into that northern.
Yeah,
lights.
and then he rolled back into the guillotine.
He stayed in the
yes,
dude. They pulled out some wrestling, but no, truly, it's the first time that I felt bad for Roman Reigns. It's the first time that I felt bad for CM Punk.
Yeah, it was so good.
You lost your best friend. He walked down with you. Your wise man for 4 years, been stripped all from the visionary, from doing what? Being
the
Paul
architect.
Heyman. Being Paul Heyman.
When they dubbed him
in someone's ear.
Being the architect that everyone said that he was in the beginning in the Shield. That was his nickname, the architect, Seth Rollins. He was the architect tonight. He was the Messiah that night. He was Monday Night Rollins.
Dude, he did it.
Yes.
And he didn't change the gimmick at all, but it does sound a little bit tone. It's like he brought his thing and toned it down a little bit.
It's like he aged it, like fine wine.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is what it's like.
Yes, we're getting a prime ribeye. Like it's good eats. What a mania! Like what a night one ending for like a beginning that was really rough in my eyes. What a night one ending.
For all of you guys who don't have Seth Rollins as your GOAT, sucks for you. Sorry. Because now is Roman and Paul Heyman sitting on the couch. That's that moment. It's just the introduction. It's coming and it's the era has begun. And you guys, if you think it's not going to be a 4-year run like he did with Roman Reigns, just get ready because this is the first inning. This is the first inning.
It's going to be good, bro.
This is the first inning, baby.
I think that concludes night one of WrestleMania.
Yes, it does. We're going to break this one up.
Yeah. So we'll cut this off and we'll get back to you in part 2.